We won. Boy, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. While I got that screen up, while I get everything going here. Let me tell you something. I sure do love. Let me get up here on this mic. I sure do love beating the Buccaneers. Get all my stuff set up over here. I know I'm making a lot of noise. Y'all excuse me, don't mind me. I gotta put my stuff right, you know what I'm saying? Get it right, get it so y'all can see everything in the building and come out. You know, y'all probably can't even see. Oh, there it go. Now it's in the screen. Oh, boy, that picture clear. We are back, baby. I'm in a good mood. I got a lot to talk about. It's a lot to talk about. You know, injuries, they always happen. Top 5 and all of them. This week, next week. Everything's going pretty much the way it's supposed to be going. I want to talk about them Falcons, though. That was a thrilling victory. Man, listen, let me tell you something. I don't know if... Well, Georgia played Auburn this week, so I probably would have felt worse about that if that was a loss. But that was a big win. Excuse me. We got Cardiac Kirk over here. 509 yards, 4 touchdowns. Appreciate ya. Probably nobody started him because who drafted Kirk Cousins to be a starting quarterback? But he is top 12 right now. Appreciate you. After them 40-something points he just got, depending on what your league do. Like in my main league, he got 40. So, matter of fact, one time for Kirk. Appreciate you. I don't know if he is on any of these leaderboards, but I know he is, he on both of these. So let me go check that other one. Get it pulled up real fast since I already know how to do it now. There it is. Appreciate you. Oh yeah, he on all 3 of them. And they look pretty much the same. So, you know, y'all know how this thing go. We back in this thing one time. It's your boy, Mr. Seven himself. Let's go ahead and jump right on in this thing. Why don't you? We have our platform superstars coming up to the stage at this time. Everybody go get Joe Burrow. Everybody go get Lamar Jackson. Everybody go get Kirk Cousins. Everybody go get Drizzy. I can't wait till we get to this Falcons game. We got to talk about Thursday night Drizzy pulling up this. That boy Drake London is the real deal. Everybody is super concerned about that chemistry with Kyle Pitts going down. And they are not talking about that chemistry with Drake London, who I like to call Drizzy, going up. So I might have stole me one in the draft. I tried to trade with my opponent in the main league this week because that person has Drake London on the bench because they have Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jamar Chase. And someone else. But enough people to not start Drake London. So I was like, let me get that. She said no. She wanted to wait and see. I could tell. Whenever they got to think about it, the game right there, that same day, or not that same day, I asked her on Wednesday. And she hit me with the thinking emoji. You know, I said, I ain't in no rush. You can sit on it. I'm good for this week. That's because I had made some other moves. We'll get to all that when we get over to that part of the show. We're going to start with that. That's that sleeper app, just in case y'all didn't get that. Open this thing up real quick. I remember my team name from a couple years ago. That boy Joe is cold as ice, and he's back. He don't get the baby because he's not me. Joe Burrow scored a cool 44 of them thing. We're on the sleeper app, by the way. The point scoring is different. I think they're a little bit more friendly to quarterbacks because 1, 2, 3 of them scored 40. Kirk Cousins. One more time for that boy, Kirk. Appreciate you. I'm gonna have to get me a Kirk. You keep throwing like this, Kirk. I'm gonna have to have me an 18 jersey soon. I'm just saying. Although we gotta, the Buccaneers suck. Let's be real. On defense. Baker Mayfield's having a good year, but on defense they're not very good. Jamar Chase, a cool 42.3 over here. I may. Oh wait, y'all see them? I got him up on the screen, right? Yeah, I do. I see those. The red. That means I own both of those players. I did not start Kirk Cousins. I always start Jamar Chase. So there you go. Appreciate you on that. Lamar Jackson. Somewhere down the line, we're going to have to talk about Lamar Jackson because I'm not going to say I knew. I had a very, 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 very strong feeling. Very, 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 very strong feeling that once he got settled into that Todd Monken scheme, I didn't even know if it was going to really, really translate to real wins and losses or not. But for fantasy, I was like, oh, Lamar Jackson is the cheat code. Of course, I put people up on game, and so they drafted him so early this year. That's why I got Jordan Love and Anthony Richardson across other platforms because they later. And then that boy Drizzy, there you go, right there. You see him. In this league, I do not have Drizzy, as you can see. Doesn't have the red thing, but I got them saying 33.4 in another league. We'll get to that in a few minutes. So that is your top 5 from the Sleeper app. Where is the button? Give them a round of applause. They made that. I'm just kidding. All right, we will go back to the old Olive Garden special. Let's open this thing up real quick. All right. So now we're on the OG special, and you see, let me see. Oh yeah. See, in this league, I don't have Kirk, but I do have that boy Drizzy. There you go, right there. Oh wait. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh it real fast because they don't have my little red circle. Why is it not there? I don't know why it's not red, but it's normally red. It's going to be white this time, I guess. All right, well, here it is. Jamar Chase, 41 points. Kirk Cousins. This league is really, really, really unfriendly to quarterbacks. They only get 4 points for a passing touchdown. Weird. Not weird. I mean, that's standard fantasy scoring. I never really liked it. It's one of my points. Yeah, everybody thinks that my point system's all janky and stuff. I'm like, nah, it's just a little bit more friendly to other positions outside of wide receivers or people that catch the ball, I should say. Kirk Cousins, like I said, 34.3 points over here. Joe Burrow, 33.78 points. Lamar Jackson. Every time I see Lamar Jackson name up here with 30-something points, I get so excited. And that boy Drizzy, he is on my team in this league. We will get to that when we get to that. That is your top 5 for the Olive Garden special. And now we will go to the main league, which is me and all that. Now, look at the list. See, the list starts with quarterbacks. As a matter of fact, only one non-quarterback made the list. Because we're not super, super friendly to quarterbacks over here. But we're just a little bit more friendly. Joe Burrow has 40. Kirk Cousins also has 40. 40.2 to be exact. Lamar Jackson has 36. Then Jamar Chase came in with 32. And then that boy Joe Flacco. Wacko Flacco. Joe Wacko Flacco off the couch potato Flacco on y'all ass. Joe Flacco is better than 1/3 of the quarterbacks that have been in the NFL for a while. How is it that Joe Flacco can get called off the couch and come off the couch and throw for 300-something yards and 3 touchdowns and get 30 fantasy points? When you got quarterbacks that's been quarterbacking since at least 4 or 5 years now, and Here's another story for another day. I heard a couple of rants today on some of the pods. I was like, oh, they mad at him. But that boy Joe Flacco made top 5 this week. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. In the Savvy League. There you have it. Give it up for your top 5 one more time. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Now, y'all know what time it is. Let's get this party started. We are going to jump right into that breakdown where I lost. Listen, so we rebuilding. I mean, I don't like losing. Let's start there. Let's start with the fact that I don't like losing. So either way, no matter what the situation is, I'm sad about it. So there's that. I had Xavier Worthy tonight. He was not going to get me 30 points because that's what I needed. I ended up scoring 106. I have no running backs because Saquon's on a bye this week. We're going to break all that down. I made some bad calls on the wide receivers that I started. I didn't know Kirk Cousins in the Atlanta offense was going to explode for 9,762 yards. So if I would have known that, I would have started every piece because I sat Kyle Pitts everywhere. And in one league, it definitely paid off. And in the other league, it kind of didn't pay off. But in that other league is this league that we're about to talk about right now. 134.65 to 106.69. Let's break it down. Bang. Andy Dalton. That Bears defense is real against the pass. I knew that. That's on me. I should have known better. Didn't do very well. Ty Chandler ended up getting the opportunity to get a couple more touches because Aaron Jones got hurt. He didn't do very well because it is the Jets. I mean, the run is their weakest point, but they're still good against it. That's the point right there. Speaking of teams that are good that you guys didn't expect, how about the Commanders? Because 34-13 against the Browns, nobody scored nothing over there. Deshaun Watson is looking bad. Sorry, he just is. Jamar Chase. We already talked about this. You saw his name on all those lists. Appreciate you, my boy. You saw what he did. 10 catches, 193 yards, 2 tutties. Appreciate you. Xavier Worthy. Rushing touchdown. 3 catches, 25 yards. Appreciate you. Along with Andy Dalton, there is Xavier Legette not doing anything because of that Bears pass defense. I'm probably going to have to go on another rant, probably like halfway through the season. Because if I hear one more podcaster or person on TV talk about how slow the offense is and not about how much better the defense is across the league, we might have real problems. Just saying. Noah Fant, I benched Kyle Pitts. It would have been 10 more points for me. Like I said, I didn't know that Kirk Cousins was going to go Super Saiyan on them boys. And he did that. So 5.4 for the old tight end spot. Greg Dortch against the 49ers didn't pull up. Speaking of the 49ers, Jawan Jennings against the Cardinals also didn't pull up this week. But that's because everybody was playing. Debo was back. George Kittle was back. Brandon Ayuk. We'll get to him in a second. I benched him too because I'm tired of it. I got tired of it. I ended up pulling out the victory. We'll get there. Nick Bosa got a pick. He didn't even need that many tackles because he got a pick. 8.5 on y'all. Bobby Wagner, another 10. Double digits from a defensive player. We like those. He had a sack and a half, a forced fumble, 6 tackles, and hit the quarterback twice. A half a sack, 2 hits. Yep. Nick Cross got him a pick. His tackle numbers are down this week, but his interceptions are up because he got one. And that was his one pass defended. Equals 106.69. Sucks. That's okay. Kirk Cousins on the bench. Let me see. Ray McLeod on the bench, 12.6. Kyle Pitts on the bench, 15.8. That's a victory. Just switching out Kirk, that's a victory. Let's run through his real fast. He didn't even take Jonathan Taylor out the lineup. He's still beating by almost 30. Baker Mayfield, you see it. Baker Mayfield, I think, was like number 6 on the list back there, but it's only top 5. So, Josh Jacobs did Josh Jacobs stuff, 16.4 fantasy points. He's actually having a solid season over there in Green Bay. Around about what you would expect from Josh Jacobs with a decent line, right? Yep. You always start Tyreek Hill. Got your 12.9. 6 catches, 69 yards. Mike Williams. That Minnesota defense is real. Y'all, somebody already had him, so I settled for the Broncos in the 2 leagues. But yeah, that Vikings defense. Christian Kirk came back to party with his 4 catches for 88 yards. He had a long bomb in the game. Brock Bowers. Come here, computer. There you go. Appreciate you. Brock Bowers. 24.7. That boy balling. He balling like the number 1 tight end in fantasy. He playing for the Raiders. Gardner Minshew is that man's quarterback. Y'all, come on now. Let's be real. Minshew. Chris Godwin. A little bit back down to earth. He getting carries too. Y'all better watch out for Chris Godwin. Gesicki is the number 1 tight end over there. He is being challenged by Eric All. Y'all remember I said that name. Kayvon Thibodeau had a quiet day at the office, even though the Giants picked up the victory. Zaire Franklin had 10 tackles. Why is he going to have 7? Oh, because 7 tackles were solo. That's why. 7 tackles were assisted. So 3.5 plus 3. Yep, makes sense. Jesse Bates had 2 forced fumbles and 8 tackles. Boy, balling out of control over there. And that's how he got 134 points without taking Jonathan Taylor out of his lineup. That is probably my fastest rundown ever. I've been staring at these teams all day. I hate Mondays. You know why I hate Mondays? Especially like after my teams have already finished playing. Like I can't film yet because I can't talk about the rest of the league because it's not complete. Also, sometimes my opponent still has players to go. Also, sometimes I still have players to go. I hate Mondays. Mondays are the worst. But right after that game, though, I'm in here on y'all ass. Yeah, so we're 2-3 over here. That's okay. Because when the pieces start coming back, we'll be good. We'll be good. Nick Chubb down there. And he's already in his 21-day window. So for the second half of the season, we might be on to something. I might start moving a little bit of stuff around. I don't know. I just want to see how my team performs. I'm stingy. I don't know these cats. So, but 134.65 to 106.69. 2-3. Saquon comes back from bye next week. I gotta check these matchups to see who I'm starting because Anthony Richardson has been struggling a little bit, but we'll figure that out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit that first break on y'all, and then when we get back, we will Olive Garden. That's what we'll do. Stay tuned. We back. Baby. Oh. Get this back over here so y'all can actually hear what I'm saying. All right, we are back. It is time to continue these breakdowns. So we're going to jump right into it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. And you know who's next. You see me in the window. Be nice to me. Let me tell you something. Public service announcement, Olive Garden League. Everybody who watch and listen. I'm on a roll. I just need y'all to understand. Like, I'm on a roll. I'm on a mission. And I chose to accept it. 4-game winning streak. Appreciate you. Corey, thanks for pulling up. By the way, you should have drafted Jordan Mason like I told you to. I wouldn't be this good right now if you did. Appreciate you. I gave you an opportunity. You gave it back to me. You didn't know his name, so you didn't draft him. Must be the truth. You didn't know his name, so you didn't draft him. I gave you the game. I was right next to you. I remember it. Steve, I told you I was going to address this, by the way. So when you see this in the video, make sure you hit me up. Text me about it. I was sitting right next to you at the place. Round 16 of the draft. Jordan Mason, like, right, I'm looking at Jordan Mason. I said, Corey, you should draft Jordan Mason right here. He thought I was tricking him. He thought I was playing with him. He thought that I was trying to set him up. And so he didn't draft Jordan Mason. And I want to say 1 or 2 picks later was me. And guess who I drafted? Jordan Mason. And here we are. And he ain't even to say nothing about Jordan Mason this week, because Jordan Mason didn't get that many points for real this week. He didn't. If I'm keeping it real. But he's a top 10 running back, and running backs are hard to come by. You could have had him. I was going to give him to you. I don't know why I was being so nice that day. I don't know what was wrong with me. Oh, well, it didn't backfire, because he's still on my team. 135.66 to 114.64. 4-game winning streak, 4-1, top of the division. Appreciate you. All that. We here. I'm gonna tell you a story real fast. So when the first year I joined this league, matter of fact, if you've been watching, you already know this story. The first year I joined this league, 0-6. I started out 0-6. Everybody during the after the draft telling me my team's fire. They're nervous about me. You know, I ain't never been in the league before, so they don't know what to expect. 0-6. 0-6. It was embarrassing. Ended that season. So I did a 6-game losing streak, 4-game winning streak, 4-game losing streak. So yeah. Ended that season 4-10. It was bad. It was really, 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 really bad. Next season, we back and forth, we bouncing around. We got a little bit better team, bouncing around, win, loss, win, loss, loss, win, loss, win, loss, staying right around 500, Tiebreakers in this league is a point system. It's whoever scored or who scored the most points. So if you got the same record for playoff seeding, the tiebreaker is who got the most points. So I ended up going 7-7 last year, like the pod told us, and then didn't make the playoffs because Corey, who ended up doing really well, by the way, in the playoffs. I think I want to say he made it to the semis, but he's not here this year. But I beat him during the season, so I was a little salty. I ain't make the playoffs, right? Oh, but now. 4-1. Rolling. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Anthony Richardson did not start, so I went out here and I picked up Joe Flacco. That boy Joe Flacco got me 26.56 points. That Jacksonville defense is not very good. So I went and started my my Colts receivers across all the platforms that I had a Colts receiver on. So that worked out for me in this league specifically because Joe Flacco got 26 points. Kyron Williams just keeps on doing Kyron things, and we appreciate that. Jordan Mason, like I said, he didn't have a spectacular week or nothing like that. We gonna get to the spectacular week. However, I take them 8.8, and he a top 10 running back in fantasy right now. And his bye week's a little bit later, so I think this week Amon-Ra was on bye. He still scored 130. Next week, Kyron's on bye. We'll see what we do. Thank you, Jordan Mason, for pulling up throughout the year. I need everybody to get up out their seat and give us a round of applause for Thursday Night Drizzy. Appreciate you. Listen, man. I'm so happy I get to reap the benefits of this somewhere. It was pretty intentional, as a matter of fact. I was like, I know. Even if it's not every single week, I know that there is going to be competency to this offense. And that boy Drake London is eating his food right now. listen, if you don't got him, you better get him. But just be prepared to give up something great for him because he is now top 10, number 7 to be exact, in this fantasy league, wide receiver, number 7 wide receiver. Not to be outdone, but was a little bit outdone. That boy, Brian Thomas Jr., clap it up for that boy. 85-yard touchdown. Got him a whole bunch of fantasy points, 23.2 to be exact. Appreciate you. Also, top 10 fantasy wide receiver. I'm just saying. Sam Laporta was on bye. Also, he wasn't playing very well, so I was already debating on not using him anyway. The last time, I picked up Noah Fant week 4 over here. And so he was available for me to start for the bye week. He wasn't projected very much, and he almost got it. 5.4 fantasy points. But that boy Drizzy. Xavier Legette. This was another place where I should have known better than to start someone that was trying to catch passes against the Chicago Bears. Because that Bears pass defense is pretty outstanding. Now, you might can run on them a little bit, but that pass defense is real. So, appreciate that. Speaking of defense, that Broncos defense, I got it both times, by the way. We'll talk about the other one. Yep. 15 points. We needed them all. Appreciate you. And you know the motto. Kickers be kicking. Chris Boswell got me 6 points. Equals 135.66. Equals the W. Equals 4-1. Equals all the things. Equals on a roll. 4-game winning streak. All that. Not too bad on the other side. Trevor Lawrence came at the life a little bit against that Colts defense. Derrick Henry be doing Derrick Henry stuff. Josh Jacobs be doing Josh Jacobs stuff. We got a team full of names over there. Everybody know all them names. And sometimes that works. But sometimes you should draft Jordan Mason. He got Saquon on the bench. He not doing too bad. Saquon, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. That's a nice little running back tandem. Trio to have in fantasy. But he could have had one more. I tried to help him. I did. Rashid Shaheed had a nice night tonight. I watched that game. Good for him. That Cowboys defense is not what it used to be, even though it got 8 points against the Steelers. And kickers be kicking. That boy Kaim got 16 punts. We moving along. Moving, and grooving. Appreciate you. 135 to 114. And we shall move on to the you know what it is. Where we also picked up that victory. Okay, now listen. This one right here, it's a little bit more sentimental, near and dear to my heart, because you know how every year the NFL does their best to start the new year with some form of a championship rematch, like either AFC, NFC, or Super Bowl championship rematch to start the season. This was my championship rematch, and I had to get my lick back. Jen, I love you. I appreciate you for joining the league, making it challenging and coming through and winning the title in your first year. But I had to get my lick back. I don't like losing. My team didn't pull up for me last year in the championship. They pulled up for me this year in the regular season. And what a time to get a victory, because she was starting to get on a little roll. She's really good at this. That's what she showed us. That's what she continues to show us. So over here, we will have to discuss some things because I got all of the pickups that I wanted. I picked up Tucker Kraft off of waivers. I traded Jerome Ford for Terry McLaurin because I am pretty deep at running back with Breece Hall and Jordan Mason and Rashad White and J.K. Dobbins. I thought that I was pretty deep at running back. Those bye weeks are all over the place. While Puka is hurt, I could have Terry McLaurin because that Commanders offense is moving and grooving. So That's why I traded for Terry McLaurin, along with picking up Tucker Kraft to stack with Jordan Love. And boy, did that stack pay off. We will talk about that. I benched Brandon Ayuk and Kyle Pitts. We will talk about that. She had Jamar Chase. I made it through that. Oh my goodness, so many things to break down over here. As a matter of fact, let me look up at these scores real fast before I break down anything. Dang. K-Sizzle scored 126.6. Cruise Missile scored 106. I told the league manager for Cruise Missile that it was hard to score 100 points in this league. So I'm looking up here, right? It's 12 teams in the league. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 teams didn't score 100 points. No, doesn't matter how close you were, you didn't score 100. That's because I see 99.4 over there, not 100. Yeah. So I love the fact that it's like a little bit defensive. Scoring metrics are a little bit different over here. But back to this matchup. I had to get my lick back, 110.9 to 104.6. She's really good. Let's go ahead and break it down now. Jordan Love, welcome back, sir. Appreciate you. Y'all give it up for Jordan Love. Appreciate you. He came back to party, and I'm glad he did because Breece Hall did not. I'm over here looking at the screen like, because they are shutting Breece Hall down. Then I remembered he was playing Minnesota, and that's the best defense in the NFL right now. Mark it down. Minnesota Vikings, best defense in the NFL. Who's number 2? Denver Broncos. Anyways, I went ahead and stole Trey Sermon off of the waivers because I did not trust Rachaad White against the Falcons, and J.K. Dobbins was on bye, and there was an open spot in the flex, and I wanted to put a running back. So I started Trey Sermon. He got me 12.6 fantasy points. Appreciate you. Thanks for stepping in this week. Josh Downs, I wanted to get pieces of that Indianapolis passing offense with Joe Flacco at the helm, and he was projected 7.2. He got 6.9, so right around his projection. I take those parts right in my lineup. Appreciate you. That boy Terry McLaurin came through. He fumbled, otherwise he would have had double-digit fantasy points. 9.5. Need that from the wide receiver spot because Brandon Ayuk hadn't been giving me nothing. And J-Mo is, he splash play. And Puka is on IR. And Cortland Sutton plays for the Broncos. So that says enough right there. Tucker Kraft. Macaroni and cheese. Mr. Macaroni got me 20 of them things in that tight end spot. Because the Rams suck at defending tight ends. They really do. Now, I'm not expecting Tucker Kraft to go off for 20 points every week. Of course not. No tight end. Never going to do that. Those days are over. Brock Bowers might get you 12 every week, but not 20. We just took advantage of the matchup, and so Jordan Love threw 2 touchdowns yesterday. Both of them went to Tucker Kraft. So I got touchdowns twice every time they scored in that game. Jordan Mason, 7.5 points. Thank you, Tucker Kraft, for pulling up because it covered Breece Hall and Jordan Mason because they did not pull up. You know who did pull up, though? That Broncos defense. Don't say I didn't tell you. Appreciate you. And kickers be kicking. That boy Youngway got me 15 more points this week. We appreciate that boy Youngway. Not to be outdone, but you were by just over 5 points. Just over 6 points. Appreciate that. Dak Prescott, I'm always nervous when Dak is on the field. Last year, I sold out about Dak, and then Dak came out and played. I'm not going to sell out about Dak this year because he ain't finna get me twice. Appreciate that. Brian Robinson Jr. is having a great year. Even though Jaden Daniels is also having a great year. So it's those two. Also having a great year. Chuba, chuba. Chuba, chuba, chuba. Hubba, hubba, hubba. Yeah, we don't, It's not a sexy name, but it's effective. And he top 15, so there you go. Jamar Chase. That boy a monster. That enough said. Enough said. Marvin Harrison Jr. did not pull up to the party this week. That 49ers defense shut down the passing game in Arizona. Kyler Murray had a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown, but only one. Pat Freiermuth, I want to say he got the dropsies. He did get 6 fantasy points, but he wasn't going to match up with that 20.4 from Tucker Kraft. Alexander Madison may be the new starter in Vegas because poor Zamir White. He not getting it done. That Seahawks defense. They went up against the Giants. They got a respectable outing. But we did not know that the Giants were this, and now we do. And in Malik Neighbors was out. And this is what they did. And kickers be kicking. Easy McPherson missed them a couple of them things. I heard one of my homegirls on Facebook going off about how the Bengals managed the game at the end of the game, or lack thereof management, for the simple fact that they were up by 10 and they lost by 3. So you live and you learn, and then you manage the game better. So yep, there's that. To equal 104.6, but not enough. I will probably, if I make the playoffs, see her in that situation again. So I am satisfied for now because I got my leg back. Appreciate you. And we 3-2. I don't know what position we in yet because I'm filming before all that stuff moves around. But up the ladder we go. 2-game winning streak. There will be no more. Every team has at least one loss after this weekend. I think that who's that? My boy nibbling on them kneecaps, about to take his first L this week. Let me see. Yep, he was the only undefeated team. Appreciate that. As a matter of fact, the top 2 people in the standings are my 2 losses right now. So, guess I got to eat that. I get to play them again later on in the year because how the schedule go. But, yeah, 110.9 to 104.6. We are moving and grooving. I don't know if you can tell I like to say that, but I do. So, yeah, that is all of the breakdowns. 4-1, 3-2, 2-3. In the 3 leagues that matter the most. I also have another little small league. I told you I'd do my little my eye leagues. I forgot what I called them. Tracker leagues. There you go. That's the name. Where I just draft random players so I can keep up with them so I can play defense. Actually named it Private Eye. But the score over there, that was a thrilling game. Even though it don't matter to me at all, it was a thrilling game. Like, it was tight. I was behind by quite a bit, and I came back and made it real close. But those are the breakdowns. We about to take one more break, and then I got the Poopy McPoopersons and that good old rant for y'all. I don't know what the rant's going to be about. I haven't really even said anything about it, but it's probably going to be good. So I'll come up with something after these messages. All right, we on that home stretch, baby. About this last 20 or so minutes, we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to look at them lineups. We're going to look at them underperformers. I'll call them underperformers. Overachievers and underperformers. I'm still working on, like, I don't want to be copying nobody else's style, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to work some stuff out. I'm making it up on the fly, so y'all work with me. You got some ideas, throw something in there, you know? shoot me a text if we cool like that. You know what I'm talking about? All right. Now, this is the way that I have decided that I like doing the poopy pants. I call it poopy pants, underperformers, all that. Underperforming poopy pants, whatever. Right? So what I do is pick my phone up. I'm going to do the Savvy League first. Obviously, I can say Breece Hall personally because Breece Hall is on my team. Marvin Harrison Jr. I can say Marvin Harrison Jr. Let's see here now. Then Cortland Sutton, Sam Darnold. I'm just throwing, just slide through. This is the fastest way to find it. Zach Moss didn't have a good game. CeeDee Lamb was a down game this week. Aaron Jones got hurt. I don't know. I'm still deciding if I count injuries in this segment or not. Keenan Allen, Dalton Kincaid. I'm willing to bet Mark Andrews is probably on this list. Who has Mark Andrews? This guy. Nope, not that guy. I don't know who. Oh, right there. Oh, Mark Andrews had 4 catches for 55 yards. He's not on the list this week. Good for you, Mark Andrews. Tyreek Hill, 6 catches for 6. I mean, I guess that's DK Metcalf, 4 catches, 55 yards, and a fumble. There it is. There's a normally good one. Devon Achane, he got hurt. Like I said, I'm still debating on if I count that or not. Deshaun Watson was terrible. Tank Dell still is underperforming as compared to what we had in hopes for him this year. Patrick Mahomes, once again, y'all got to get used to Patrick Mahomes being a quarterback two. Only good in super flex. Don't hate me, Chiefs fans, but it is true. What can you do? Juwan Jennings, way back down to earth. Amari Cooper. I'm hoping Devontae Adams ends up somewhere where he's satisfied as I scroll past his name in this thing. Aaron Rodgers, 3 interceptions. Not good. Didn't look good. Ken Walker also didn't look good. But it's still his backfield, so, he will continue to be the leader back there. Deontay Johnson and the entire Carolina Panthers offense against that Bears defense. David Njoku, Deshaun Watson's his quarterback. It all makes sense. Yep. Travis Etienne, you about to lose your job. At least that's what it looks like. Chris Olave got shut down. Just to name a few. And that was just me scrolling through. So, those, as I scroll through, so really when you come up with that list, right, isn't it people that you would like have started or people that you thought was going to at least get you double digits that either didn't do that or got less than half of their projection? I think that's a good way to define that. So, yeah, I'm going to go with that. From now on, that's it. It's underperformers. And I'm just going to scroll. I'm going to pick the league, scroll through the starting lineups, and see who underperformed. And now I'm about to go right to the old OG special and do the same thing. It's probably going to be the same people because, yep, look at that. DK Metcalf and Njoku. Yep, all the people I just said, I don't even got to do that for real. So it's the same across all the platforms. As far as the overachievers and the underperformers. Sometimes it depends on which rank they get. Sometimes you'll be 4th place. Sometimes you'll be 7th place, depending on if you're a quarterback or a wide receiver or whatever the case may be. But as far as bad performances, it's going to be closer to the same. So you heard all the names. We hope for better from those gentlemen next week. Let's go look at these lineups for next week. I'm throwing all the Falcons in the sleeper lineup. I'm letting you know right now. Kirk Cousins in that thing. Ray McLeod in that thing. Kyle Pitts in that thing. They all in the lineup. Saquon is back from his bye. Also, Nick Chubb. So if I can get Saquon and Nick Chubb over here, that'll take care of my running back spot for a couple of weeks. Saquon already went on his bye. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We might work something out. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just trying to piece it together, you know. Get a decent enough draft pick. I can get me a running back out the draft next year. Right now, I have Deontay Foreman. He seems to be getting the bulk of the goal line carries when they make it that far. Like I said, Deshaun Watson's the quarterback, and he's not very good this year. Jamar Chase, you know the vibes. Xavier Legette, you may or may not still be in there. Greg Dortch. Little Jordan Humphrey. That's my little sleeper. That's my wide receiver 5 this week. I'm going to see what it do. I'm just, shooting darts. I threw Cortland Sutton in the lineup, not this week, but last week. He ended up scoring a touchdown against the Jets. So, Bo Nix. I don't like him. But they scheming up some stuff. He's starting to get a little bit more comfortable. They're still not very good on offense, though. Nick Bosa, Stan. Bobby Wagner, Stan, Nick Cross. I think I'm pretty set at defense right now until those people start to go on by. I will not drop Nick Bosa. That's dumb. Probably not Bobby Wagner either. But yeah, that is the lineup for the Sleeper app. On to the OG special. Click over real fast. If Anthony Richardson is playing, I'm starting him. Why? Because this is the least friendly quarterback league. So if he doesn't go off for very much, you're not going to have too many 40-point outings in the quarterback world in this league. So I won't. It's the lightest risk. I'll say it like that. Jordan Mason, you see it. Kyron's on bye for week 6. So Jordan Mason, Devin Singletary. If Devin Singletary doesn't play, then I have Tyrone Tracy on the bench. I will make the switch. Also, Ramondre Stevenson might be hurt. I have Antonio Gibson on the bench. Also, they said Rashee Rice might not be out for the whole season. I don't know how I'm going to play him. Where am I going to put him? I think I might have to sling one of these running backs for a... No, I don't need it. Gosh, man. It's so loaded over here. I don't know what to do. But yeah, look, Amara St. Brown, Brian Thomas Jr., Drizzy. You know what I'm saying? Sam Laporta with TJ Hawkinson in the IR spot. Somebody dropped TJ Hawkinson. And the way that Sam Donald's been playing this year, TJ Hawkinson about to come back and hop right on up in that thing. The Broncos defense is stuck in my lineup until they go on by. Appreciate you. And kickers be kicking Chris Boswell. Because Chris Boswell is a top 5 kicker. That is the old Olive Garden special. Let's slide on over here to... Yep. You know who it is. Over here we got, let me see. Jordan Love. Stuck. Breece Hall. Stuck. Listen, I don't care how bad y'all think Breece Hall doing. He's not coming up my lineup. You see my team name? Appreciate you. Jordan Mason. Appreciate you. Brandon Ayuk, after you came back to life. Seattle is, the 49ers has been struggling a little bit. Seattle might give y'all a little bit of a run. You might have to throw a little bit. And it's in Seattle too, so get ready for that. That Baltimore pass defense has not been good. That Washington Commanders pass offense has been good. So Terry McLaurin back in the lineup. I'm trying to decide if I want to start Tucker Kraft against the Cardinals or Kyle Pitts against the Panthers. I am still not 100% comfortable with the utilization that the tight end in Atlanta gets. So I'm up in the air on that one. J.K. Dobbins, you're back, but you play the Broncos. But your utilization and usage has been through the roof. You get 3 catches a game right now, and you get about 14, 15 carries. So those are wide receiver. Those are running back 1 numbers. How do you sit that? Right. And kickers be kicking that boy Youngway. Like I said, I got, I don't know who I would put in instead of J.K. Dobbins. I haven't picked the waivers yet. I probably should do that. Well, tomorrow's Tuesday, so I got time. I got time for But that's what that lineup looks like for now. It may look different by the time I edit. It usually does, and then I have to switch it back for the picture and all that. So if it ends up looking different when you see it, it's because between the time that I filmed and the time I started editing, I'm constantly checking this thing. I can see it's 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I promise you, I'm gonna be up in like 3 hours, looking at these waivers, trying to see what I can pick up. But I don't need to be because I get the whole day tomorrow. But I can't help it. So it's just oh, all right. I finally figured out what I want the old savvy rant to be about. Let me get my stuff over here. Move that out the way. Put it over there. Close that down. Put it right there. Let me get over here in this camera. Personal preference. This is all personal preference on this rant. It is standard scoring league policy for the tiebreakers to be points scored. And I don't like it. In the NFL, it's who beat who. It should always be who beat who. Because Denver beat the Jets 10-9. The Jets scored 9 points. But later on down in the year, they could end up being like a 1 seed because they went 13-3. And they scored way less points than, I'm just making up a number. I'm waiting on Aaron Rodgers to come out and get a relax. Get to relax. And then they go on like an 8-game winning streak over there. If he's going to be feeding Garrett Wilson 22 targets a game. Might be able to do that. Nah, but I think I'm salty about it because I would have been in the playoffs in the Olive Garden League last year. And if you saw what my team was able to do by the time we got to week 14 last year, you didn't want to see me in the playoffs. If I would have made the playoffs last year, I would have won the title. Correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, because I know you're going to see this part. If I would have made the playoffs last year, if I remember correctly, by the time we got to week 17, my team was scoring 160. Yeah, we was bound for glory. If we would have just snuck in that back door, we was bound for glory. I would already have me a trophy sitting right here. It's about time. I need to go ahead and get me a victory. I ain't won a trophy in a while. It's been too many years. But the tiebreakers bother me because they kept me out of the playoffs last year and I would have won a championship. So that is my rant for today. I would like for everybody to go to the same tiebreaker, and it is head-to-head record. Let me know what you think about this rant because I'm really curious to pick the brains of the people that play the sport. How do you feel about knowing that somebody can score? For example, I'll give you an example. Last year, there was 4 teams that were 7-7, and this was in the Olive Garden League. There was 4 teams that were 7-7, and one of them scored 1,770 something points, and one of them scored 1,400 something points. But we both had the same record, and the team that had scored the least amount of points beat the team that had scored the most amount of points that year. So because I had just beat Kevin in week 14. I'm just remembering off the top of my head. Week 14, I won. I remember saying I made sure that we had a new champion. Because if he would have won, we all had the same record. We were 6-7. Yeah, we were 6-7. Both of us were 6-7 in the last week of the season. Yep. And I won. I ended up being 7-7, and he lost. He ended up being 6-8. But if he would have won, Corey wouldn't have made the playoffs. Kevin would have made the playoffs. And so I made sure he didn't get in, but then Corey won, and he outscored me throughout the year by 42 points. And I remember when I played him, his team scored 44 points. I didn't have a good week that week either, but 44 points. But then he came back and got on a little run at the right time. And so 42 points kept me out the playoffs. But I don't know. What y'all think? Shouldn't it be head-to-head? I'm on a 4-game winning streak right now. I don't have the highest points in the league. So if somebody ends up going on a run and they come back and get the same record as me, but they outscore me by 2 points, and they get the 6th seed, and I don't get in the playoffs, and I have to beat everybody, or my number 1 seed get taken away from me because points. Those are the type of things I think about, and it probably shouldn't bother me. It does. Don't care. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I need to go lay down next to my wife because it's been a long summer and we finally get to spend a week together, and I'm looking forward to that. So have a good evening. Good luck to everybody in all of the leagues except my opponent, you the Ops. Nah, for real. Good luck to everybody. There is tons and bucket loads of injuries. I don't even got time to go through the list for real, but more power to you if you are struggling through the injuries and making it through. I went and looked at my bench in one of the leagues, and I had 3 players on bye, and the other 4 were out. So I started everybody that I could. I mean, still getting victories, but, like, you never know. Like, if it's all you got and they go bad, like, you can't look down there and be like, something could have went better. Like, so keep on pressing on. Get out here and make some deals in these streets. Don't just sit there with, this is why my league only has 1 IR spot. Don't just sit there with hurt players on your bench. Like, especially if you know they're not coming back. Or if you got the IR spot, use it. Fill the IR spot and get you somebody else. Start pushing people around. Not literally, I'm saying, like, start throwing some trades out there. Like, I'm literally going through y'all's teams and trying to figure out what y'all need and trying to offer it to you in order to get something nice from you. Like, that's what I'm doing. Because that's how you get people to trade with you. You got to figure out you don't got to figure out what they need, because a lot of times you can just see it. But that's another rant for another week. It's your boy. It's me. I love you. I'll see y'all next week. Week 6, we are here. And we already a third of the way through this thing next week. Ain't that crazy? Y'all get some rest. Stay blessed. Love y'all. Talk to y'all next week. Peace.